Hey guys, what the hell? You said now and then pointed instantly. I was like, where's the pause?
It actually went really
Anyways,
fast.
hey guys, and welcome to the Mysteries of Selindor episode 102. We've been going for a bazillion years now, but we're still doing it because we like it. Seti, our resident bard, will give us a recap for last week, and then we'll get right on into the lack of action.
All right, last time on Mysteries of Selindor, episode 101, Brogy gave Grim his candle, and he was like, what the fuck is this candle? That's very important, to me anyway. I learned that my mom is descended from a ladrin from the Astral Sea and the Plane of Dreams, and she was a bit uncomfortable learning that I had a brother that was made of rocks. I guess she's a little jealous. But anyway, Mitnir, Celeste, and I will be doing Box Breaker during the school competition. Oren and me will be doing Wisborlup. Oren will have to find someone else to help him present his boards, though, so he went and talked to a professor and learned about this lady named Fira that might be a good fit to give his presentation some pizzazz that I am unable to provide, unfortunately, because I am already booked.
Some pizzazz.
Some pizzazz. Anyway, he also talked to that professor about some runes, his celestial runes, the sigils that have been vanishing. And the professor was like, I don't really know. It was made by a higher angel. And Oren's like, yeah, that was my dad. Whatever. All right. And Mitnir got some gen dust for his invention, wound up tattooing himself, or at least starting that. Went to see Ord, learned some stuff about Marduk, the dragon he sees in his dreams. Apparently just an alt personality for Bahamut. So, like, that's a big deal. But he didn't share any of this with us, I don't think. I think this was just all
Not
to
yet.
him. Yeah, not yet.
Yeah.
Yes, so we learned about that. Grim learned about the clone spell from wizards, and we went to go see Idrisma for some insight on speeding up Grim's learning process. Grim got a knife and decided to pack up for the cauldron where time is different, so he could spend more time learning shit in the same amount of time that we have left on the surface before the games start. And at lunch, I met Cleary in his room because I got him to show me the project he's been working on. And it turned out to be a really sweet, cute little dragon statue. And, like, he said he was going to give it to me after the competition. And I got all like, teary-eyed about it. And I think that's about where we left off, so.
Yes, and then after that, we had a little bit of time in between since our last session where we have done kind of a 1.5 or 101.5 for everybody. Bropsy and Seti actually did a session during
Yes,
which I don't know if you have a recap for that, but you can certainly check that one out where they spent some time in the
but
Crystal Undercity.
just so everybody else knows, I mean, should I catch them up in character, or do we want to save time
By
and
day
just do a
2,
quick...
everybody's going to give their money. Is that what you're talking about? It's up to you if you want to recap for everybody in character.
Well, so first of all, I already said in chat, everybody gets a certain amount of gold. Make sure you add that to your sheets. I'm not
13,300 gold pieces.
Yeah, we got a lot of gold. We sold a lot of most of the rest of our diamonds, but not all of them. We still have quite a bit in stash. And so we did that with Grim's friend, the creepy guy down in the Undercity.
Where's that?
And then, yes, and I met another one of Enveruna, an Illithid named Aldask, I believe. And he gave me the name of the wolf guy, I'm assuming, Uther or something like that. So now we know more. But the Illithid guy was like talking to me and trying to break into my mind. And that was really bad because he couldn't do it, great, but he wanted to, bad. So when we were down in the Undercity, we wound up meeting one of Labra's friends who turned out to be an amethyst dragon and is part of the Spectra, who are guardians and fought a long time ago against the Far Realm. So they have way more information on this shit than anybody else we've talked to so far, but weren't super forthcoming about it because they didn't know how much to trust us, and like also we're like weak, squishy mind mortals. So like maybe don't confide your secrets in people whose brains could be broken. But she gave me a thing to help protect my mind, so that was good. And I gave her the other fractures that we had from Agar to keep safe for us.
So you get this information from her somewhere around the beginning of day 3, because this is what she did on day 1 and 2.
Yeah, maybe at
during the
dinner.
6 days before the competition, you will have received this information along those lines.
Mhm.
And maybe they sent a message to Grim, who probably didn't remember because
We're
it happened
supposed to call
somewhere
Grim every day,
during the.
so Grim
Once a
got an
month.
update.
Yeah, so Grim got an update. Meanwhile, picking things up, a lot of people have a lot of their time already devoted to certain things. And with that, we'll be picking up on the beginning of day 2 with the only person who hasn't had any true activities at day 2. Yesterday, Mitnir, you spent a lot of your time working towards understanding how to complete your knife. You went and spoke to Red Wolf, who said, "This is complete. I'm not sure what you're talking about." And yet there's still this lingering feeling that you don't understand what's missing, but it doesn't feel done for anything that you've created so far. This thing just is lacking something. You're not sure what it is. So that's something you might want to pursue. Otherwise, there are a myriad of other things you like to do. But you have all of day 2 to yourself. Everybody else is completely booked for the day, with the exception of Oren. You're going to get 4 hours to do whatever you want. So, with that, Mitnir, what would you like to do with your morning?
So are we saying tattoo is done?
That's up to you. Did you want to do the tattoo just with the with the knife as is? Because you can do that. That's perfectly fine.
Nah. Let's go the other route and try to see if I can come up with something to finish the knife.
Sure.
Well,
there are certain people that will be around during the day that you can still go speak to. You can't speak to Grim, obviously, because he is
right.
I mean, you could call him.
You could call me.
But
maybe that's why I mess up sometimes. Is people call me.
think
he kept calling you. Mess with your timings.
The methodology we're gonna go for, we're gonna start the morning by carving on the staff. Just thinking about the upcoming competition.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me. Well, it doesn't really need a roll on that one, does it? Just give me the art. So it's dexterity with proficiency for how good your carving is. It's like how good the depiction is.
Just straight dex. Let's. I'm gonna go ahead and use my luck for the day on that one, just because.
Did you add proficiency?
Yeah, it was still bad.
Okay, I was just making sure.
This would be a 12.
12. So you start carving into the story stick, and I believe where we left. I don't know if you remember exactly where we left off, or if you've written it down. But the last thing I remember you ever writing onto this thing was, or carving onto this thing, was the depiction of the big creatures clashing into each other, and Charybdis taking on your monsters. Now that you've seen it and it's become past, you realize, just how useful this thing might be, and you begin carving once again. You catch up a little bit of time of you studying and carving things, and as you continue carving into it, you see that there are appearances of shadowy figures that seem to move. Strangely, I believe there are 11 of them total. Some of them are empty spaces, but you can see where the spaces would be. Each of them has what's notable is that you didn't carve in certain places, leaving space for stars all over their bodies. And there are different numbers of stars on different beings that are moving and twisting around this sort of line leading up towards a tower, which takes up a small section of the stick itself. And you realize that it is different levels of the tower with small events happening within them. You can't make out for certain what's happening in those events because your artistic skill was not that high. But you can currently make out that these are events that might be happening during the pentathlon. You do recognize one has some alchemy this going on, but there's something going on in it. There's almost like a little scene that you've carved, but you can't make out exactly what's going on in the scene.
Gotcha. Just kind of
okay. Put the stick back. I'll say that takes your morning.
Yeah.
Oren, what would you like to do with your 4 free hours today?
This is which day?
This would be, well, actually, technically, I need to bring you back to day 1 to do your 4 free hours. So, what would you like to do with day 1's 4 free hours?
Probably call Princess Caldera.
All right, so you call Caldera, and she goes, "Oh, it's so wonderful to speak to you again, What can I do for you?"
Oh, hey, this a good time to chat?
Um, yes. I don't really have anything going on. I'm just relaxing in the bath. Well,
Oh,
and then she sort of like covers herself and like twists it around, and you can see that there's just like lava everywhere, and you can see her like little lava, like little fire creatures, like dancing, fire spirits dancing across. She says, bath time.
right. Because everyone bathes in lava, apparently.
Well, it really gets all the nooks and crannies, I must say.
If I did that, I would not be here.
Mm. Well, if you still have that rock of yours, you did quite well in my pool before.
Oh, right. Nope, I don't. You gave it to your dad?
Oh, well. I guess he did mention that he got something nice off of you, and he handed it off to Ord, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, I think I
Interesting.
saw him working on the weapon for that.
You saw Ord working on something. Oh, I've known him quite well since I was young. My father always talks about him as being one of the greatest smiths in existence, if not the greatest. So, really intrigued to see what he does with it.
Me too.
But anyways, this isn't really why you called. Well, what's up, Orin?
Right. So I know you don't get out of the castle much, and
Don't remind me.
I have an idea to make something for you to sort of help you with that.
Oh, are you going to
It,
help me escape?
it's like a way of leaving without having to leave.
Ooh, loopholes. I do like those.
So I have two ideas. Uh, one idea is I could make like a pair of goggles that would allow you to see through my eyes.
Oh, interesting. So I could just a day in the life of Orin.
Yeah, you can see what I'm up to, or just
That could be
watch.
fun. Maybe a bit disorienting, maybe a bit creepish. I don't know if I want to watch your day all the time. I wouldn't mind watching it every now and again, though. Like a sort of date, if you will.
Yeah. And then the other idea is to make an item that would allow us to visit each other in like a dream space.
Oh, well. Make a persuasion check.
I really hate doing persuasion checks. 14.
14, she goes, it's a bit. I would really be the girl of your dreams then, wouldn't I?
Yeah, I didn't think of it
I'm
that
not sure
way.
exactly to what level of pickiness I can be, but being a princess, I will go ahead and be as selfish as possible and say I want the second one.
I could do both.
Ooh, well, if you have time for both, by all means. But I am intrigued.
All right. Um, what what would you say would be a good gem that would associate well with your kind?
Ooh, jasper is the stone to which we are most usually referred, or fire rubies.
Okay, good to know.
Well, I really appreciate this call. I hope that we speak again soon, or see each other in our dreams.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to make it, but I will definitely call again soon.
Ta. So as you had this conversation, you're not sure if it's from watching all the heat radiating in the bath surrounding her, but your ears are slightly red.
Sounds
Um,
about right.
so that would take like a nice portion. Would you like to do anything else during this time?
Um, Probably go do some research on the whole seeing through someone else's eyes thing.
Yeah. So you eat meals, and then you do a little bit of research on shared senses. Um, just gonna make me one investigation check for that.
Ooh, nat 20 for 24.
You do have found that there are a couple of spells that sort of do something similar to this, whereas this particular enchantment hasn't been made before, you think that you could pretty easily do this just by assigning basically a two-way switch on either pair of goggles, in which one would switch it so that the other person can see what you're seeing, and vice versa. So you switched on one, and one person switched on the other. So that's sort of like your idea of how you can make it work. But the ability to share each other's vision at the shared time seems difficult to pull off, like has like a split vision or a split screen or something like that. Would be very difficult to pull off and very confusing for the brain to process the information. But similarly to the ability to see through the eyes of a familiar,
that's kind of what I was going for.
That would be easy enough to use a similar enchantment to replicate that idea.
I was thinking basically make 2 pairs of goggles, one as the viewing end and the other as the receiving end.
You could, based on the natural 20, find a way to make both do both functions.
Okay, with the
and
switches.
just switch between them.
Yeah, that's all.
Just not at the same time, because one person has to be processing information.
That wouldn't work, especially if I was like in the middle of fighting.
Yeah, it'd be really weird.
And then I just see
I'm gonna say that takes care of your first day. Day 2, we will do the afternoon for Mitnir. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna spend it like not attuning to the knife, but treating it like attunement. Like focusing on it, being like, talk to me. Just
so
chilling out with it.
Just describe to me, like, all right, so you've got this knife, this beautiful knife in your hand, and it's just begging you for something. You're not sure what it is, and you're not sure why. But every time you make something, there's life in it that makes you feel connected to you, and this somehow feels lifeless. And as you are holding it in your hand, go ahead and make me an intelligence check.
Oh boy. 4.
4. You're still not sure what it needs. You just know that it's lifeless. Like in somehow it's like if you were anybody else, maybe you wouldn't be disappointed. But since you're you and everything that else you touch, and this awesome story stick that you made super, super easy, like this feels lifeless and disappointing. So you're not sure what it is.
I will spend part of that time then also calling Carrick and just venting to him, like it's not done. Like he doesn't have to answer; it just vents at him.
I mean, he'll respond and be like, "Well, of course it's done. It makes you made like a super awesome drinking habit. We're all still fucking buzzing.
It's finished, but it's not done."
It's like, oh, I don't know exactly. If you could think of what enchantment you want to put on top of it, you let me know, and I'll speak to my friends, and maybe we can get it set up for you. But until you know what you're looking for, what am I supposed to do about it?
Just like enjoy the beer. Click.
So if you would like, you can spend some time investigating. You having trouble with your camera there?
The cat keeps nuzzling it.
So he keeps looking at the
It's
ceiling.
rubbing
Like,
her little face on it, and it's like it's driving me insane, Missy.
Yeah. So if you want to, you can make an investigation check to try to see if you can suss out information on like enchantments, like bringing life to enchantments, if that's how you want to look at it, or however you want to do it. I mean, you have lots of sources you could speak to. There's the Nexus you could go to. You could try talking to other enchanters. Again, make another investigation check for another enchanter.
Or the friend that you have that specializes in helping people be smarter than they are.
Or you could try
multiple
talking
friends
to
you have.
But you're all busy, right?
You could try talking to Orin about it during his free time. You could eat up his day 2 free time by attempting to talk to him.
Hey, Orin.
What's up?
Okay, so my knife isn't done.
Okay.
How do I fix it?
What's not done?
Make me an Arcana check looking over this thing.
Oh boy. Okay, 23.
So,
Yeah.
like, you remember I made that bone and I carved runes on it, and it was like spooky, like magic stuff, right? You remember that thing?
Yeah.
That was done. This is just finished.
Right. Let me see it. So yeah,
Right. So
23.
yeah, observing it, it appears to have some enchantments that are used to turn basically powder that's introduced like dust of different materials. Something that, as long as it's crushed and powderized, you can turn it into a type of ink that is then sent down one of, I believe it was 6 tubes or 5 tubes, 6 tubes, 7 tubes total, if you include an aquam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like one that's filled with aquam, which is a replaceable section, and then the rest of them they'll feed down into a mixer, which can then be used to determine how much of which ink is used at any given time, creating a mixture of colors, creating a mixture of different materials, and then is sent down a blade to a diamond tip, where it is then used and carved into something, and can be used like a tattooing knife, especially with the way the entire thing sort of slightly vibrates in a way. To work very functionally like a tattooing knife if used on the backside of the blade, but could also carve into metal, wood, or any other type thing. It's actually a pretty interestingly designed little device. But as far as you can tell, it's a tattooing knife.
Okay. And I don't see what maybe needs fixing or tweaking to finish it.
Looks like an item to you.
I'll pull out like the story stick and see, like, see this is also done. Well, done in the sense that it's still in progress, but it works.
You're gonna try to check to look at the stick. I don't know if he's ever shown you the stick before.
I haven't actually really shown, like, you guys have probably seen it, but I haven't shown it to anyone.
Wow.
Do you want to make an Arcana check for that one?
Sure.
And I mean, it's pretty. It should be obvious, like our story, you know.
That is your story so far, and it goes past the present.
22.
Yeah. So the interesting thing
Past
you
the
notice about
present?
this, yes, it goes past the present.
Into the future.
It goes into the future.
Thank you. I gathered.
Yeah. So his story stick that slightly goes into the future, and you're not sure why. But when he tells you that this was carved, 3 or 4 days before this happened, this was carved, and then you realize that this is a prophetic stick. And no matter what you do, no matter where you look, you can't find any runes or any sign of spellcraft anywhere on it.
Mitnir, you are a mystery.
Thank you. Is that a compliment?
Yep. I don't know how you made this, but it's crazy.
So it is up to you if you would like to do any experimenting during your free time today. You can spend some time trying to discern what is missing, quote unquote, from Mitnir's knife.
Yeah, sure. I could spend day 2 doing that.
Okay. In that case, go ahead and with advantage, because you will be having the help of Mitnir, although who knows about advantage. And also you have Caldwell to back up because he is a standard enchanter instead of just going via the achromatic function of mechanical magical engineering. So go ahead and give me a skilled check with intelligence to try to discern the missing factor or what might be there. And we'll see if you're able to find a way to discern it.
So in an intelligence check?
Intelligence with proficiency.
Okay. You said with advantage?
Yes.
27.
27. You're not sure exactly what it is, but there is some sort of magical element that is applied to this stick that you have never seen before. It is like an energy, a wave that is wafting off of each item. You look through some of the other things that Minir has created or had his hand on, and you see that there is this sort of energy to it that you have found. And Caldwell is able to see it when peering through a glass of ethereal sight. You can see the energy wafting off of it, which is like a use for like discerning different magical properties. He says he's not sure exactly what it is, and based on what you guys have done, there's some energy flowing through it. The best way to maybe really discern what it is to take it into the apperception chamber and see if you can discern what it is. Past that, gathering the nature of it would require talking to someone who's mastered extraplanar energy, or somebody who is able to read energies exceptionally well. So you're not sure who that would be, but that is your lead.
Yep, so I'll explain all that to Mitnir as we're working this out.
He nods like he understands all of it.
Yeah, totally. I don't really know who you could talk to about that.
Any guesses on how to just recreate it?
Nope. I'm
Actually,
not familiar with this.
You did roll a 27, so I'll give you one more other piece of information. Whatever this is, the energy is definitely from a positive plane.
So like a celestial plane? Is that what you mean?
Strangely, you're not sure if it's like a specific positive plane or if it's just positive energy, but it's different than celestial energy. But it is, I guess, outer positive plane is not the best way to do it. It's got like outer plane energy, like big mojo, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know how you're making these things, Mitnir.
You just start doing.
I've never done that. I always research things before I make them. You're just kind of making things on whim. This is crazy.
Yeah, you should try it. It's a lot of fun. But you're not always sure what's going to come out. It's like cooking from the pantry, but you pick everything with your eyes closed.
I'm not really a cook. But sure.
So I'll say you guys spend most of the afternoon working out this and trying to figure it out, and this sort of like fills the rest of that time. You still have the evening for you guys to meet up and have dinner, get the information from SETI about everything that's happened. You hear about the Amethyst Dragon, everything else. All that is caught up, and then we bring ourselves to day 3. So starting with SETI and Brupsy, as you guys come to the breakfast table, everybody can be here for this. It is, Cleary sitting there putting out the breakfast spread. He's got Grim pulled up on Skype. I mean, it's like this whole thing. And you guys have your breakfast meeting. Say, oh wait, he was working on a project for you, wasn't he? Say, I oftentimes tell people that he's going to do things for people, but everybody asks him to do things, so I forget what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, so he was going to look into a way for me to shield my mind. But
Correct. So he was talking to the mind of Yasharandi.
I would have given him an update as soon as I got back yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I would have given him an update saying, hey, the mind thing's taken care of.
So he's like, oh, well, I still have them working on that, and perhaps we could get some organized for this, but I'm glad that you've were able to come to something. Did you need me to identify it, or?
No, it was from a dragon, so I think we're good.
He just sure. So everybody at the breakfast table, Cleary says, "So, what's everyone's plans for the day? Obviously, we are minus a Grim and Orin. I know that you're busy with your creations. This is the day that you're closing in on finishing her lockpicks.
Yep.
This is day 2?
This is day 3.
Oh, day 3. The second night, Bropsy was asking Sim to help with the dream stuff.
Oh, I didn't know if it was happening second night or third day. Okay, so if it's happening second night,
yeah.
I mean, it's a dream thing, right? So
it would have to happen
be a
at
night
night.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're attempting to. Who are you using the dream spell to attempt to do? Because I know that the dream spell allows you to enter people's dreams. I don't know if it allows you to take others into other people's dreams.
That's what we were going to find out. I mean, that was my proposal. Was like,
Ah.
hey, I can try this. I don't know if it's going to work, but I can try it.
So I think the spell you want to do that would take you as like dream people to a different plane to investigate things is the Dream of Blue Veil.
I don't think I get that one next fracture, I
You
think.
get that one next fracture. So that would be the spell that you would need to take her spiritually to a different plane.
Okay.
But
So
if you wanted me to, I could go try to find your wife in the dream realm and talk to her, or just send a message to her.
Or you could find other ways to try to look into this. Or you can use Legend Lore. There's all kinds of things you could try. But your current dream, you have no way to bring her through a dream to another dream yet.
I don't know that Legend Lore would do us any good. She'd have to be of legendary importance. But I think our options, if that... What?
No, nothing. Okay.
Our options then would be I can try to pass along a message in a dream and go find her myself.
could you
Or we can go to the embassy and just try to catch a portal to the realm she's in.
try the Legend Lore thing? Oh God, I want as much information as I can before I go into this. I want to
She doesn't want to be
know what I'm
surprised.
getting into. I need to emotionally prepare. I'm not prepared.
I mean, I can try it, but even with people who are actual gods, it's been very bare bones. It hasn't given me a lot.
Bare bones is better than nothing.
Okay, but is your wife a god? Or some legendary hero?
To me, but
Because
My wife
No.
is a god.
I'll
name
try.
is Taya.
I need
So 250 gold later.
yeah.
Oh, it costs. I'll give you the money. Yep.
It costs 250 gold worth of incense.
Okay, I'm paying for that.
Okay. So she buys you a new bundle of incense. So this one's on
No,
Brock.
I don't
buy
need
you
more
too.
incense. I'll take the gold.
All right.
What do I learn?
Legendary, legend lore, legends about this nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it's blank. But we tried.
Fine. We tried. At least I know. Did you already do that for Oren's dad?
Yep.
Oh. There was nothing there.
Nothing that shed any light on things.
Okay.
But I have some research leads. I need to look into it more. I might do that today.
Okay.
Tomorrow. You want me to try to reach her in the dream?
I might regret this, but yes.
What would you like me to tell her? Or would you like me to just talk to her and get information?
Both. You can tell her that I think I know where she is. And I think I know how to try getting there. Tell her that I'm trying.
I will. And I have her name. Would you describe her for me really well so I can hold a picture in my head to make sure I find? I know she's yellow.
She's about this high. She holds up her little hand. Just a little taller than Bropsy, not super big.
Like stat.
She's
Right.
not just yellow. She glows.
I'll like make an illusion of what I think she's describing. It starts as Bropsy and then like it turns yellow and then it gets a little taller and then it starts glowing.
Yeah, it looks like a glow in the dark.
We'll just kind of
She'll
tinker with
explain.
it
She
until
goes
it's
a little
close.
like the sun.
It's a rave, Bropsy.
She's named after the light.
So we'll just yeah keep tinkering with it until it's like close enough.
Headcanon now. She has iridescent feathers.
And then I guess when I go to bed, I'll cast dreams.
Okay, so you cast the dream spell. Roll
She's
me
the most
a-
beautiful bird you've ever seen.
Roll me a D100.
Oh,
Guidance.
he's making me roll for it.
Well, you're trying to contact a different plane.
69, baby!
Perfect roll. We did it.
Plus whatever
Critical
guidance.
success.
So you fall into an awkward dream.
Yeah, she's totally with her new wife.
It is going to
No,
be
I'm just
so mad.
kidding. No.
Look, this is the
Yeah,
second
look,
D100
look.
I have rolled for an important event with Kita. The first one was when
That
our
is a-
characters kissed in Prophet of Gaia. I rolled a 69 for that too.
Yeah, perfect roll. All right, so here's what I'll say you are attempting to find her, reaching out in the darkness, drifting through different realms within the space. You find yourself like for the first time looking at the realm, the dream space, like from above, and you see like these different lakes, these different pools of color that you start diving into and find yourself surrounded by light, surrounded by darkness, just searching for this thing. And it is the longest search you've ever done, and you seem to think that you're never going to find it, and then suddenly you get pulled, not violently but swiftly, in a direction that you weren't intending to go. The next thing you realize is a sort of downy white, pillowy softness beneath your feet. You look around and you see clouds cascading out infinitely. The sun rays leaving a sort of rosy hue across the top of the pillowy down of this cloud top. And as you're standing there, you see a small shadow begin to appear from above, and the sound of wings as something descends down and pulls itself up through the feathers. You see craning this tall, slender, humanoid-like Aarakocra goddess, for lack of a better term. You see that her feathers are similar to Bropsy's in the sense that they have this sort of pinkish hue, but it's almost like a rose gold. Her skin appears nearly silver beneath them, just flecking away. You can see the tips themselves are just sort of vibrant glow behind them. On her chest, you see a necklace holding an opal with spread silver wings twisting away from it in filigree. She looks over to you and she goes, "Why are you trying to reach one of my servants?"
Ah, I
The wind begins like coolly blowing, but you can feel that it just shifts to the movement of her wings, which she's about like 7-8 feet tall. This Aarakocra.
He just kind of bows her head a bit and says, "My name's Seti. I was sent here by her wife to try to learn what became of her and if she's well."
So my fledgling has become powerful enough to ask the questions.
There is a lot of confusion about what happened.
I expect there would be. Her ward, Orin,
Yes,
how is his progress?
he's been a wonderful companion and ally in the fight, if that's what you're asking.
And he is just.
I think so. He's having issues with his runes.
That is Viramas's concern, not mine. However, I cannot fulfill my end of the bargain until I am certain that Brobsy has fulfilled hers.
Well, she's not entirely sure what her end of the bargain was, but if it was to raise Oren, then I would say she has done a damn fine job of it. He's a good man.
She will not receive what she truly desires until the cataclysm has come to pass. She is the guide of the weapon, as Virimus calls him.
Do you stay in touch with Virimus or his people?
I have done what was asked of me, and my poor fledgling is the one paying the price.
Yes.
I was only willing to allow it based on her insistence. Of course, it is a good deal for her as well. We defied heaven's order for her.
I would love details on all of that, but she worries for her family and feels bad that she has left them. I suppose if I could assure her that they are happy and know that she loves them, or that she's working hard to get back to them. But perhaps things might change if you knew Virimis is dead.
Virimus is dead.
I believe
A
Northwood told him.
god cannot die. A throne archon cannot die. Not truly, unless he had descended to the mortal plane.
I don't have the details, or I didn't want to press and make him talk about things that might be painful.
Well,
He told me his father was
keeping
dead.
secrets. I understand what's happening.
Do you?
I believe I do.
I don't.
She has not completed her task yet, and therefore by the bond I made with Virimus, I cannot fulfill the end of the bargain. However, I can, I believe with some leniency in the magic, say a family may not live, but they still live. And she will be rewarded once the task is done. Meantime, please take good care of her.
You know anybody we could talk to on the other side of things? Somebody that would know what Virimus knew.
You cannot move on faith on what I have said. Then I will give you one last piece. A simple lesson in the heavens. A mortal mind cannot comprehend a life that was spent, even eons, in the afterlife, when they return to one.
Not sure what to do with that.
I wish you the best. I'm sorry that she is saddened. But if you wish her to visit her daughter in a dream, she goes by the name Suba.
Suba?
Yeah. And in current rank, she is still alive.
Let her know. Thank you.
the wind blows, and you are returned to the mist.
I will tell Brapsy all of that.
She would have gotten to her feet, very excited once you roused again, and dropped to her knees, crying.
And said he will just hold you.
I'm too
Well-
late.
Think there's more here. They couldn't talk about it without breaking their promise, I suppose. But I think maybe securing your wife a spot in heaven was part of the deal. That maybe you're not too late, but something had already happened. But you got yourself there somewhere. And can try visiting her tomorrow. I know it's a lot. I'd hope to learn more.
It's not a lot. It's everything.
Yeah.
He just
So-
resigns to slumping over, head down, and I guess cries herself to sleep.
And then we go back to breakfast the next morning. So, what's everyone's plans for the day?
I will also use breakfast to share what I learned about Marduk and myself.
Hey.
Just
Oh.
like, so yeah, apparently dragon interest in, yeah.
So you're like, okay, but what? But why? But, I mean, I'm not surprised, but I have questions.
Me too. What are your questions first?
How? Why? When? What the fuck?
Is the last one a question?
Yes,
More of a general statement, I think.
it's both.
To all the above, I don't know.
Well, that is a lot. There's a lot of stuff happening, lot of news being shared. I mean, I am going to be going to the library. Would you like me to look into any of that deeper, see what I can learn? I mean, that's a lot. You learned a lot.
I mean, sure.
Sure. Or see
I
if
mean, if you
can...
have time, right? You know, it could be lower on
Or-
your list of stuff.
Or now that we could just I mean, I don't want to intrude, but like if you have another dream with him in it, you could just ask him all the questions. Now that you know, right? Like, why me?
Pulls out like a little scratch piece of paper and is like, how, when, what,
What the fuck?
what the fuck?
I could come too if you don't mind me being there.
I think you're always welcome in my dreams, but that sounds weird to say.
Enter at your own risk.
I mean, it's like saying you can come over to my home anytime you want. I mean, I can't really knock first in a dream, though, is the thing. So, if you're on the proverbial dream toilet, you might get walked in on.
I mean, that probably won't bother me.
Okay. Alright, fair enough. Okay, well, next time I have a dream spell available, we're going to talk to Dragon Daddy.
You walk in on a whopper, just don't be surprised.
I'll just turn around.
Oop, bad time.
So,
Give me a moment.
Mitnir, what would you like to do with your day today?
I'm gonna go back to the Nexus.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be where the space between different planes is like the thinnest around here, besides puddles, but I don't want to go searching for the right puddle.
Okay. So as you walk in, you see.
Interject that Bropsy also wanted to talk to Orin about going to the Nexus and maybe talking to people and getting different answers for all the questions that we have.
Okay. So would you guys all like to go in a group?
That
Sure.
works.
Okay. Does anybody else want to go to the Nexus group other than Grim, who, as it is still day 3, has nothing of importance to do right now, but he is finishing his spell.
Doing many important things.
Yeah.
It's just already done.
I while they're going to the Lexus,
The Lexus?
while they're going to the Nexus, I will go to the library, not the library. The
Okay.
library.
So then let's first knock out your library stuff. What are you looking up? And
Oh God.
and how can I help you? Woo-hoo!
Well, I'd rather. Okay. I'm researching. Oh, it's on my other notes. Hang on.
Oh, at breakfast, I was also going to ask Seti if her brother could get me a jasper and a fire ruby. Not very big, just little guys.
I call him right then and there, and I'm like, "Hey, Labra, can you get my friend a jasper and a fire ruby? They don't have to be big."
Sure, sis. Just tell me how much you want to spend, and I'll bring that shit.
Well, you tell me how much it costs, and I'll pay you.
But like usually when people are making their magic, they have like total requirements and stuff, bro. You know what I mean? They're like,
Oren,
oh,
what
I
is-
need like a gold worth
does
of
We like to
500.
wing it.
What is the value requirement?
There isn't really a value. It has to go inside a ring, so it can't be too big.
Well, it has to be something that can fit inside the ring.
All right, sure. So totally like the really little one for the Jasper, probably like 10 gold, if that's cool with you. And then the fire ruby, on the other hand, will be 600 gold pieces.
Oren, does 610 gold pieces work for you?
Yeah, the price doesn't matter. Just give me the finest quality gem you can get.
All right, good
Yeah,
quality
fire ruby
gems.
is big quality stuff, man. This will be like, it has the power of fire surging inside of it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Let us know when you've got them, and we'll meet up at the teleportation circle or something, or the shack.
Sure.
Okay, bye.
All right, back to the library.
Yeah. Okay, so at the that's not my notes. I'm researching the terms Throne Archon, Inevitable, Spectra, Mercian, whatever that city was.
All
I
right,
don't-
so start with the one you want to look up first, and then roll an investigation check.
Throne Archon.
Throw an Archon. Okay.
Oh, that's a 29.
29 for your investigation check. What would you like to know about Throne Archons?
Just like what they are, what they do.
Sure, they're usually about 10 to 12 feet tall, bodies made out of light and solid gold. They have nearly flawless appearances. Rather than having wings, they typically have, like, usually depicted as having like scripture coming off of their back, or runes hovering around their back that they use to allow them to fly. They are a high-tiered member of the Celestial Order. They are only below the Tome Archons, which rule the 7 layers, the 7 mountains of Mount Celestia. So they are in the progression, going from lead being the color of their chassis when they first become a Throne Archon, from what was most previously either a Trumpet Archon or a Sword Archon. And they have upgraded to this level of life by the purity of their deeds and goods over a long period of time, sometimes eons or thousands of years. So they are the second highest celestial being within Mount Celestia.
All right.
And usually have their own kingdoms and domains within the 7 heavens.
Can I find names of other Throne Archons?
You can make another investigation check for that.
That's a 28.
Okay. There are 196 provinces within the Seven Heavens, and there is a throne archon that is established as the head of each province.
Okay.
So, knowing this, there are 196 names listed.
Can I look up that city? Mercian,
It's like
or
the Book
whatever.
of Numbers, but it's like some celestial book you find in the library.
Can I look up the city and find out like what province that's in, and maybe look at like a neighboring province and get the name of their throne archon?
Bring it here. If you're looking into Mount Celestia,
Like people that would have been close to where Orin's dad lived.
so Mercian?
Yeah.
Mercian's what you're talking about. That is the fifth layer, known as the Platinum Heaven.
Okay.
It had vast plains and savanna, and it was a place where paladins and other lawful good servants would spend time. Instead of mountains like the rest of them, Mercian had majestic citadels with huge black spherical domes dotting the plains, and he was the leader of the city known as Imperia, which is also known as the City of Tempered Souls.
Can I find another like nearby city or something that had a different throne archon?
A different throne archon. I don't have any names prepared, so you can
Put a pin in it.
you can come up with any name you want, and that would be him. Is there any information about personality, or what are you looking for? Because there's
I'm just looking for somebody that I might theoretically be able to go talk to. Was of
in
equal
relation
rank.
and associates that you might find.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me one more and look for associates, because they're all kind of just heaven creatures. They don't really get into each other's
That's
stuff.
also a 28.
Also a 28. Known associates for this individual would have included his mini trumpet archons that worked under him within his city. Bala is a known associate, and he was known to be close in communication with, and one of the few that ever was in close communication with Zafrael.
Zafrael? And
I will find you the spelling.
that's fine, as long as I can come back to that later. But I'm assuming this is somebody that is higher up than him?
He is the highest order. He is virtually God.
Okay. So that
Within
could, if we can get an audience with God, then we can maybe learn some things.
most people do not know anything about this guy.
Okay.
He is beyond the bridge guarded. He resides in Cronius, which is beyond a bridge guarded by an angel known as Zerona.
Who lives across the bridge in where? Cronius?
In Cronius, the top layer of Celestia. And this bridge is guarded.
By... What's her name?
Her name is Zerona, and she guards the bridge of Al-Sahil. Sahal, sorry.
Okay. All right.
So that's the information that you were able to. God damn it.
Can I also get anything on banishment, on Veramus's banishment?
Make me an investigation check.
31.
31. There was a notation of, and these are like ledgers that you had to find in a celestial only section, and only because the school that you're in is the Highborn.
Sure.
So you're able to like get in. Like these are some real secret tomes, like about celestial individuals. But you do find out that it was banishment due to the defilement of the soul.
His soul or a soul?
That is the only information you glean, is that is from the defilement of the soul.
I'm assuming that was Oren. I already had, as soon as I heard he was banished, I was like, probably for making Oren. But I wanted to see if I could confirm it. Alright, so that's all I need to know about his dad at the moment. I did have some other research items, such as the inevitables.
This is definitely taking your morning so far.
Yeah, I figured.
Your whole morning is gone already.
I could spend the rest of the day in the library, I think.
I'm still looking for the spelling of that guy's name.
It's fine, don't worry about
But
it
it's
right
it's Zafrael, basically.
now. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so all right, so you're looking for, what was the last thing you were looking for now?
Inevitables.
Inevitables. Gosh. I mean, you're just gonna roll a 80, so
Imagine being good at investigation and learning everything you want to learn.
I got
Yeah,
I got another
never.
31.
Oh, Jesus.
I haven't rolled below a 15 though, like
That's crazy.
all right, which inevitables are you looking for?
well, she just came across
Because
that
there is a
word.
list of like different kinds of basically, like, the information that you know about inevitables is that they are created creatures of like living muscle and clockwork. And they're usually like, made out of bodies of like gold and silver, or a myriad of different metals like magisteel and adamantite. But there's all these different materials that are used into forming them.
Uh-huh. Well, I know.
They do have intelligence. They
Yeah.
are not like other constructs. They have like basically souls, memories, learning, all that kind of stuff. But then there are a lot of sub races to them. So
Well, because I know Primus made them. I got them.
he was attributed to the creation of a number of them.
Can I specifically learn about the ones he created?
He typically made ones that were set to look after disturbances in order. I'm trying to figure out which ones, but I think they were almost all made from either. I think he did actually basically make all of them. Now that I'm looking at it.
But he made like specific ones for the tower, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. So one of them is that he was been attributed for sure is the Selindor, and the Merit.
The
And
what?
the Collier. The Zellicute, the Collieret, and the Merit.
Okay.
I think he made all of them though.
I basically want to spend the rest of this time, like as much time as I need to, learning as much as I can about the inevitables, trying to narrow down which one I might have seen. Given the very little I have to go off of.
Okay. Yeah, you rolled a bazillion, so it most resembles a Kaliara, which is resembled a mechanoid humanoid wearing elaborate golden-hued banded armor and usually a flowing red robe. That is like the way that they're usually described, but it is basically a very humanoid version. The most humanoid version. They are normal in size in general, and their body and armor is like pistons, gears, and muscle.
Okay. I'll just keep reading up on that specific sub-race then. And just learn about them. And I can look up a wiki or something later if you want to move on.
I mean, yeah, since apparently you can look up anything.
Said
Yeah,
he's a
so
librarian.
that is the information you get for your day. You're done.
You just chat GPT.
All right. Bropsy, what are you doing with your morning? Oh, you guys are all going. Sorry. Bropsy, Mitnir, and Orin. You guys, however, head to the Nexus together. It's probably in the middle of the day, but you guys, some of you can spend more time than the others. Won't interfere with anything. So, who would you guys like to go speak with first?
I gotta look up the name of the person I'm looking for.
I have a question for Memory. The Genasi guy who told me that my family was alive, or he found them.
That would be Havar.
Yes. I
And
have
he
it in
told
my
you
notes
they were in
somewhere.
Evander.
They plural or just wifey or just daughter? He said they.
He said they were in
Okay.
Evander. That was the information that he received.
Okay.
So I probably want to go talk to Bala.
Sure.
I will accompany that.
I figured you guys were all kind of going together.
Yeah, just clarifying.
I mean, I'll take it around. I'll just take along until they're done, and then I want to go to the
Yeah.
Celestial one. But yeah.
Sure. So you go to Elysium, or rather, or do you're just going to the Nexus, like
The embassy,
to
yeah.
go to the embassy? Yeah. As you step through, you find one very similar in the way that it's organized to the Mount Celestia Dora embassy. This one you walk in, it's kind of like this really tall, fancy, pillars holding up this roof with sort of Michelangelo-like paintings on the ceiling of like not like angelic things, but like nature and like the wheat and the chaff and it's like this very like beautiful portrait of nature and the elements all coming together. There's like this mosaic on the ground that seems to be depicting like a swirling of nature, born in light and life. And it gives you this very warm air as you look out across the clouds ahead of you. Everything is like painted in a sort of like the saffron hue that just makes you feel very homey and warm. As you enter into the area, you do see that there is, past this little pavilion, there is grassland that spreads out for what appears to be like a mile or so, with like a little orchard and trees, garden. As you enter, an individual does approach you, just wearing very simple like burlap clothing. Say, "Oh, how may I help you?" And it's just this young woman with like short cropped hair.
Hi. Hi, I was hoping to get an audience with Bala. I need to speak with her about something.
Oh, may I ask who's inquiring?
Yes, my name is Orin.
Well, I will go inform her. You see, she starts walking out into the orchard and then just disappears among the branches. A few minutes later, Bala comes walking in, just straight up. The trees part as she comes in. They sort of bow away from her. And as she passes, the fruit on the tree starts to bloom and gush and overripen. She passes up towards your direction. And what can I do for you, son of Venemis, on this day? Mind you, I do not have much time, but I will offer what help I can.
I have growing concerns about the runes that are left. I should say, rune that is left on me. And these
Yes.
visions I've had of you know who attacking the soul within me, and they've almost gotten to it.
That is most unfortunate. I do
I
apologize for your current situation, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it. What was used to make those runes is not something that should ever be attempted by anyone. Your father burned his own divinity to make those runes.
So you're telling me there's a chance? No.
There's a chance if you have pure, well, completely untainted energy from Celestia. Divinity that has been accrued over hundreds of years of service and goodness, and someone willing to sacrifice it. In which case, that divinity, that goodness, that purity, that pure radiant light could be used to carve new runes. But you would have to find someone willing to do such a thing. And the defilement of such a thing would, well, leave them banished from Mount Celestia for eternity, as was your father.
Right. Well, I guess I'm running on very limited time.
That is most unfortunate. You lost much in your confrontation with Northont. I could give you a bit of a bandage. In a way. Enough divinity to make up for one rune and protect you a bit from these invasions in your dream.
I mean, anything would help.
I will ask Lord Iris to steer the weave out of your direction, but it will only do so much. In the meantime, she gestures towards you, and just this little bead of light comes off of the tip of her finger. And as she does, she gestures over like just the left side of your chest, over your heart, and you can see that it sort of burns a symbol into your chest, and it burns when she does it. But it appears to be two pieces of wheat that are twisted around one another, and then there's like a heart, like sort of like glowing inside of it with like some runic symbols written inside. She says, "That will hold you for a while. But if he finds you directly again, there's nothing that can do to stop him."
Well, it's something. Thank you.
In the meantime, let me know if you find a completely virtuous soul who has traveled hundreds of years within the Mount Celestia, ascending to as close to Cronius as possible, and is willing to sacrifice an eternity of happiness and joy for you. And we'll talk then.
Sure. I'll get back to you on that.
She sort of nods and then disappears back into her orchard.
Can someone remind me who Paula is?
She has long white hair.
We met
And she
her
dresses
the
simply.
first time we went to the Nexus.
She's a council member for Elysium.
Oh, so I would be talking to her too. Right?
For
Because isn't
Elite.
Elysium where my family was?
No.
No.
No? Where was
No. Arborea, Evander,
Oh, our
Olympus. Those are three names to describe the place that your family was said to
God.
currently
Okay, hold on.
residing.
Can you say them again? I'm trying my notes.
Arborea,
Borea,
Evander,
Evander, and
or Olympus.
Olympus. Okay. Got it. There's too many
Okay.
names for my tiny brain.
So that's Oren's conversation done. Bropsy, Mitnir, what up? Where you guys going?
I'm just following for now. I'll go last because mine might
Okay.
take longer.
Bropsy, were you trying to head for that one?
Yep.
Okay, let me go to
Got an actual IRL pit in my stomach. Is that the theme song Bropsy's hearing in her head?
No, I'm just looking for my thing. No, that's not where it is. Council members. Is this where it is?
I have a
Nope.
really bad problem in my notes that I like
Selindor
shorthand
Council.
everything
Here we go.
to like make sure I can type it as we're doing things before I forget
we're
it. But
headed
then I
to
don't type enough
Arborea.
out that it's intelligible after.
Yeah, that's
So
no
you
problem.
spend some time moving around looking for what could possibly be the entrance to
She will
Arborea.
ask for help if anyone like can guide her there.
Yes. So what you end up looking at is cloud cover. Is all you can see in this interior of the root of this branch, this trunk section
Okay.
of the Great Sea of Selindor. You just see clouds looking down from above onto, like, you can see like a very distant drop in some just larger than life scenery.
Okay.
And above it, you see a sapphire gemstone. As you walk inside, you see, and this sort of juxtaposed to what you see going through, rather in this space, it's like a bright daylight, but you can still see stars dappled throughout the entire space. You see that there's a large throne made out of white marble, and everything here is gaudily white marble. You see just about everybody is wearing white, like toga, like, paraphernalia, just like cuts of a color here or there. They're all wearing like laurelese, and it's got this very too much thing going on when you look at everybody. And as you look inside, you see an individual sitting on a throne, long white hair and a short, well-trimmed white beard, sitting on a throne. As you walk in, he goes, "Who are these individuals that have wandered into my embassy?"
Hello. My name is Bropsy. Really hoping you could help me. Havar told me that my family was in Olympus.
Your
Family I have not
family's in Olympus. Well, very interesting. It's nice to meet you, little bird. My name is Elias. And, well, I know everyone on Olympus. Who might your family members be?
Can I do an insight check? 'Cause now I'm scared telling people things.
Make an insight check.
Oh no. Oh god, I got so close to a natural 20. That's a 13. Yeah, can I guidance myself? I can do that, right?
Sure.
No, I don't think that would be enough, but I gotta try. Yep, that's a 15.
Yeah, I mean, like, he definitely seems like he's being truthful.
Uh-huh.
He seems like he knows everybody. That's the only real read you get on him. It's like, so, who are they? Assuming that I'm aware of them, we can speak more candidly.
Her name is Taya.
Taya. Unfortunately, not a name that exists in Olympus. Are you sure they don't belong to some other realm within the great Arborea structure and plane?
What? I am not sure. I was not the one to hear of their whereabouts. I was told secondhand.
I see. Well, the name does sound like something that could exist on one of the other areas. Maybe something that the elves have going on. Can't be sure what they're up to, you know? Well, unfortunately, I can't help you. Best of luck.
She just looks at Orin like, what?
I don't know. Maybe they're being hidden.
She looks down at her hands, at her feet, and thank you anyway. Yes. Look at me,
I'm
I guess.
always here in case you need anything else, little bird. Could somebody bring me some wine?
Okay, you know what? Can I go see Havar? Ask him what up.
Sure. There's an embassy for the elemental plane of air.
Uh-huh.
So you go in and you ask around, and it takes a minute, but Havar comes out and flying across the clouds and says, and when he gets there, he kind of kneels down to you and says, "How can I help you, one who carries wind?"
She's still agitated, feathers ruffled, and she says, "The I spoke with Elias, and he said she's not there."
You spoke with Elias. Oh God. Oh, he's insufferable. I'm so very sorry. That is not the best way to proceed. Eh, there are many gods that represent their respective planes, many creatures that do the same. Unfortunately, not all of them are good representations of the entirety of their plane. How could one single entity be? And yet, when the assignment was made, I believe
I
definitely
don't care. I just want answers. I'm sorry. I want some answers.
I can do my best to look into it, but there's not much I can do. The only person who could answer that, anyone within the area. And
Who do I talk to?
Syrenita would be the one to speak with.
How do I spell that?
Syranita, also known as the God of Aarakocras.
SYR. What?
SY. Okay.
I'm trying so hard.
Can I get their digits?
Yes, I want their digits. You can just put it in chat. So I don't have to keep it.
Syranita.
Okay.
Patron deity of Aarakocra.
Do you know where I can find her or anyone that speaks on her behalf?
He resides within Avanda in the area. To speak with him, one would need to communicate in some way with that brain, or try to have a message sent through the people within the embassy. But bias is not the best choice for such things. Sometimes when he has stepped out, there are representatives from the Seldarin, but it is not common. He likes to sit at his throne in his position. He's quite accustomed to it. So it's less annoying than his other throne.
Can you describe her? And she's gonna try to see if that sounds like the person that Seppi saw in the dream the previous night.
Syrenita?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he gives you basically the same description. Who she spoke to was definitely Syrenita.
So that won't even help because she couldn't give.
Not that she couldn't, it's that she You have to fulfill something before she can.
Well, that's all Bropsy wants to know. Bropsy wants to know if her family is alive or what she has to do in order to see her family. And she
Seti-
hasn't been told what she needs to do other
No,
than she hasn't done it.
I mean, Seti would have told you last night that her interpretation of what she heard was that we have to defeat Northot. Or that Orin has to become an even better human.
More gooder.
Bropsy very much doesn't like the vagueness and the assumptions and fill in the blanks. She wants like
I mean, she basically said like when the calamity has passed. So I'm like, okay.
Dealing with gods, that's the best you're gonna get.
Prophecy stories leave you with more
that
questions
may
than
be
answers
true,
most of the
but
time.
Bropsy doesn't like it.
Nothing we can do about it.
It's up to you
We're
to.
dealing with gods.
Well, she
here.
could at
we
least
wanna
like
do it.
try to get more information, but fine,
Yeah.
fine. Bar says that.
Yeah, you
She
can.
says okay. I'm sorry for snapping at you. Thank you.
It is your life.
I don't know how people deal with this.
I was told,
Hope-
at least with the information that I have, that they live in the sense of their souls are living.
And that
You
is
looming in the upper planes, that is as good as assurance as you can get.
I guess that will have to suffice for now. Your turn, Mitnir.
All right, so as you guys go, where are you going, McNeil?
Back to the celestial.
Celestia, Mount Celestia.
Yeah.
All right, so as you walk in, you see that there are a couple. I mean, same situation. You know, you've got this sort of like, you know, marble and then like dark rooted, you know, marble and granite sort of features with like the gold everywhere. And you see that there's like those little kiosk like teller desks on each side that are just made out of fine materials. So you look out over the clouds and see the mountain ranges below.
So if I take too long, guys, feel free to leave.
Today
I
it
don't
is night,
know
by the way, outside with stars in all directions.
how
You
long
can
this
see
is
a
gonna
rising
take.
mountain.
It's
I'm just
fine.
gonna walk up to one of the desks.
Okay. See a long trumpet on the back of the individual sitting there.
Hi, I was here like 2 days ago.
Yes, of course. Let me find your information. Yes. How can I help you?
Can I borrow your floor?
I'm sorry?
The floor, and just points out to like an open area, like.
You can certainly stand upon it, or sit if you wish. You cannot take it.
Well, no, it would stay here.
You're being deliberately vague.
I mean, pulls out the knife and's like, I'm trying to figure out how to fix this.
Fix your... Well, let me have a look. And he pulls his glasses up and... May I?
By all means, but
So-
this is the thinnest place I could think of between, you know, where
He
we
looks down
are.
at- and he doesn't look that old, but he sure sounds like a million years old. And he adjusts glasses that don't even have frames, any glass in the frames. She goes, oh, yes. Well, it's a very intriguing, mundane item.
Right.
What
So
is it
what we
you're looking for?
it's missing a part of me.
Magical imbuement. I see. And to what reason have you come to the conclusion? But what brings you here, I guess, is
Well, you
lost.
guys had the information about Marduk, and that is linked to me. So I figured part of my essence might be linked to this place.
He's like, Your seal again, please, so I can
Pulls it out
take.
and sets it down.
Yeah, he sets it on the table. There's just like this moment where he's like going through like these like magic tomes, and he goes, "Oh yes, I believe your message has been sent to you, and you should have been given all you needed to complete the task. It says here that you were visited and instructed, and that any more information would be, uh, well, you know how those beings are with their trials."
Sure. I'm just trying to work on the thing, and I wanted to try something here.
Oh, yes, of course. You are welcome to try here, as long as it does not result in any wanton destruction. Hmm?
Is that open to artistic interpretation?
If you're going to harm others or your surroundings, please do it elsewhere.
I was gonna try and draw a thing on the floor.
Oh. That is frowned upon. You would have to speak to Ward.
Pulls out the stick of chalk. I was like, I have chalk.
This chalk, I believe that there will be an Archon line lately to clean up, so it will be there for an hour.
Goes and gets to work. He's gonna draw like an in. He's using like the idea of a teleportation circle,
Mm.
and he's gonna draw 2 circles, one to put the knife in, one around himself, and he's just trying to draw like around the circle is gonna be kind of like the best he can do of Marduk, like around the circle he's sitting in, and then an interpretation of himself around the smaller circle with the knife in it, and he's just trying to like figure out a way to like force a piece of himself
Yeah, there's
into
definitely going to
it.
be some people watching you. And
Oh, yeah,
I
he
will
doesn't-
have you go ahead and as you continue sketching this thing on the ground with chalk, we will go ahead and take our break. And we will come when we come back, we will look at how well you did with that and if it came with any results.
Oren's definitely watching.
We're back.
Hey, we're back. So Mitnir, you began chalking on the ground. Go ahead and make me a dexterity with proficiency.
That is an 13.
13. I mean, it's a doodle on the ground. It is a circle around you, a circle around. I think there's some people just looking at you curiously. Yeah. Roll a d100.
I was gonna say then he just like sits in it like meditating, and he's just like in a sense trying to force his essence into the blade, like
Yeah.
D100.
Perhaps he will have given guidance for this.
That's a 23.
23. Yeah, you sit in it, you meditate, and it doesn't seem to really do anything. And then, like, after like this hour you spent here, the other people probably went off to do some of their own stuff or what have you. Then the guy comes through and mops up your circles. Sorry, prestidigitation. Just keeps on moving.
Just picks it up and's like, I don't understand. And
Fernarkheim's sitting there in the chair. He's just like leaned back and he's just smiling, watching you go.
Maybe the chalk wasn't the best choice.
they said I couldn't destroy the floor.
I don't know.
I mean, if I try again, I'm pretty sure I'm getting in trouble.
Probably.
Unless you have something else to do stuff
I mean,
with.
if you're just trying to like transfer a bit of your essence into it, you could do that anywhere. Wouldn't need to do it here.
but I'm not sure it's all just me. I think it might be some of him. It just kind of points out to like the stars.
Sure, but if you're part of him, then essentially it's the same thing.
Gwynsid Arin.
Just a thought. You could try it in your dorm room.
You think they'd get mad if I destroy the floor?
It's your room.
Certainly wouldn't be the first.
And wouldn't it also be tied somehow to the plane, right? Because it's this celestial.
Could be.
Hiram Academy.
Maybe.
They have little peaky.
You know, he has kind of
portals
like
and
shoulders slumped, like head like kind of down as we walk out, just like it didn't work.
They have meditation mirrors.
I don't know, it's just a thought. You could try it at your dorm. It's the High Realm Academy. It's sort of linked to the Celestial Plane as well. It could work there, and you could do it the proper way.
You think I know the proper way? Do you know the proper way?
I just made it now with chalk. You can use the tattoo device.
Just kind of like flicks it in his hand, just like back in the belt. Maybe we'll try that tonight.
Right. So, nighttime day 3. Who has what?
In that case,
know.
he'll do the same thing, but he's gonna go to sleep with his head in the circle this time, with the blade there, and just go to sleep.
Just go to sleep. Steady, are you doing anything?
Well, did Bropsy want me to try to visit her daughter?
Yes.
Okay. So I have the name. Hula. And that. She's an Aarakocra.
D100 in this one. This
You're
is
cutting out a whole
definitely,
bunch, but yeah.
Roll a D100. You gotta try to pick her out of the cosmos with nothing more than a name.
You got this.
Ooh, 81.
81.
That might not have been good. I don't know what the rules are for this.
As you sense around and looking for her features within the ethereal, you can't seem to place her.
I assume I only get the one casting and I can't, like, change tactics if it doesn't work.
I'll let you try changing tactics if you want.
Visit my dad.
All right. So as you're reaching out through the dreams, trying to find it, and you can't find it, you slip in sideways above this pool, this darkness, and as you step out, you find yourself like stepping out of water, and you see sitting on the dock, there's Lord Iris just sitting there, eating what appears to be a scone of some kind. And then the second he sees you, he kind of like lowers it underneath his like the long rope arms of his robe, and he goes, "Good to see you. I noticed you were wandering."
Yes, I seem to be a bit lost. I was wondering if you could point me in the right direction.
What is it you're looking for, daughter?
An Aarakocra named Suba. She is the daughter of my friend Bropsy.
Ah, yes, an interesting child.
Would like to
They
find
are
out.
bound in a pact.
Yes, but the Aarakocra goddess told me that she was visitable. But
If
perhaps-
Sirenita has allowed it, I am not one to keep you away.
Is
Would
there
you like
any...
me to guide you to the dream?
Yes, but first, is there any light you could shed on this pact? And on Viramis?
I am only aware of the pact as it relates to the weave. And all that was done with your friend Orin in the creation of something to stand against Northot by Viramis in an act of vengeance for the death of his son.
Yes.
I
but
know
is-
that in reference, your friend Bropsy was chosen as his guide, both morally and spiritually. as someone who was considered pure of soul.
Yes.
And as a result, for her, there was a bargain struck that was fulfilled through a promise that Viramus made with Sirenita and with,
She said this promise.
well, whatever plane it was that they were residing in at the time.
She said this
That
promise
information
broke
is
the
false.
laws of heaven.
Not surprising.
Any clarity you
If
could
the
shed
deal
there?
involved anything involving Orin, then it was a direct defiance against Zafriel's decrees and the treatment of the soul.
You know, if Oren said that his father's dead, and the people he spoke to seem to believe that as well. The Eragoga Gradus said that was not possible. Who's right here? Do you
It was
know?
not possible that he was dead.
Yes.
Well, I think that she lacks a general understanding of the nature of Celestials.
Well, she said unless he had stepped down to the mortal level, but maybe he's...
When Viramus burned his divinity to create Orin, in the sense of saving his son, he burned his very immortality with it.
Right. Did she not know
He-
that?
I don't believe she was made aware.
Oh. They would have made this deal. Maybe they made it before he made Orin.
The runes that were used were the melted down armor of Viramus. They were used to sear those brands into his flesh, doing such as a desecration of his own soul and the use of his divinity that accrued through all of his time in Celestia since his ascension from the mortal realms.
And that's why he was banished.
That is partly why he was banished.
What?
The other part is the desecration of the soul of his son.
Right. Okay.
That is the information that I am aware of. The deal with Brofsy and the others does not exist within the weave that I have influence over. I can see some of it. I know it involves a family, but I cannot see the whole answer. It's too fine a detail, too small a thread.
Well, she made it sound like we have to defeat the Northot for the deal to be complete.
Oh, that would be too cruel.
It said the
A test.
calamity must pass.
The calamity must pass.
Something like that, yes. The threat of Northot? Or the threat of Orin?
It is hard to discern what she might have meant, but if I had to guess, I would say the boy has more to do with her task than Northont. I think that if he were to turn with all the other energies already imbued within him, he would be a calamity.
I agree.
He would tip the scales in Northont's favor in a way that would be difficult to recover from.
I certainly wouldn't want to go up against him. But how do we win that fight without, what is the end point? Because defeating Northot seems to be a pretty clear end point. But is there something Orin could do that would cement his Orinness and cast out the Northot?
He would need to re-solidify his runes, first of all.
Yes, we'll have to talk about that.
I am no expert in such things.
I don't imagine it will be easy. His father got banished for it. gave up his divinity.
He would have had to have left some sort of information or journals. Even a divine being cannot keep such information within their own head. It's too complicated a procedure.
Yes, I don't know if Odin has looked or how hard he's looked.
I would probably start there, but the energy source needed would not be easily come by.
Well, we'll see. In the meantime, thank you. I should follow up on my errand for Propsy. If you could give me a little nudge in the right direction. Can I try to conjure up a Bavarian cream to leave him with?
You get a wisdom check with proficiency.
Ooh. 16.
16? You conjure up a donut for him. He goes, "Hmm." He watches you leave and he sort of dispassionately looks at it, and then he sort of gently plucks it out of the sky and goes, "My favorite." And he just looks out over the water. Meanwhile, as you dip down beneath the coldness and find yourself drifting through the mists of dreams, all the creatures that list within this land swifting around. What?
Brapsy would have prepped Sethi before going into this dream to remind her that she has never met her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she does not know what her daughter would have heard of her. She does not know if her daughter is aware of the deal, or if Taya died when she was little, or if Taya died recently.
Yeah, I got it.
But perhaps he would have just gone over this anyway, and just I don't know if I will ever see her. I don't know if we'll make it long enough for you to help me get to her in dreams. But you tell her that I love her, no matter who she is. And that if it is ever possible, I will find her.
I will.
So back as you drift down into the darkness, keeping this in mind, what you heard from Bropsy as you begin seeking out Suba, you find yourself entering into a dream, and you immediately feel yourself rocking violently. You feel wood beneath your feet, and then the sound of some sort of strange wailing in the distance. And you see a small bird, pink feathers, ruffling in all directions, green accents rising off them in a strange way, covering her brow, these like large green angry looking eyebrows and massive wings with the tips of like the strange green color. And as she's dancing around, she says, "Hoist the mainsails! None of you best be dawdling!" And you see a bunch of like sort of like fey creatures are like coming in, and they look like they're probably like crewmates, but they're not fully formed in this dream space. And they are, you realize you're on a ship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sailing around. And as they're moving things about, you look over the edge and there's no water. Instead, you see that she is sailing through space. "We're coming into a bit of cluster space. Everybody be ready." And so she jumps off and she takes a sword and she points it up the front. "I'll take this one." And you see an abyssal dreadnought heading towards the front of the ship. And she's got her sword headed out the front of the ship, ready to point straight at him. "And I'll have your eye." So this is what's going on.
I come running up and salute. Captain!
Sorry, Astral Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
"Captain, where do you need me?"
"Oh, hi, you! What's your name?"
"Setimera, sir."
"Right, Setimera. You, take the port bow."
Roger that.
Grab the harpoon. We're going whaling.
I'm gonna go along with the dream until it I'm gonna try to make it into like a satisfying conclusion, right? Like
Yeah, so
she
like
defeats the
it's like this
dreadnought.
long epic battle where she's throwing like fucking lasers out of her feathers and shooting laser out of her eyes, and she's fighting this astral dreadnought. And like it gets like super buff at one point, and like it's just like it roids out and it goes into rage mode, and like she's like this big huge anime super fight, and then she like defeats it, and everybody's happy, and they drag its carcass behind their ship through the astral sea.
Okay, cool.
She goes, another great adventures for Super, Queen of the Astral Sea.
That was amazing, Your Highness. What a show. You really showed him what's what. What would we do without you?
And she says, hold on a tick. This is definitely a dream. I've never beaten an astral dreadnought before. Who are you? What is this place?
It is a dream. I just walk through dreams a bit.
Strange. Well, I'm Super. Well, I'm not the Queen of the Astral Sea. I am sailing on it.
You're doing quite well. And if you're queen in your dreams, then I think you're queen. Because this is where all the real fun is.
Well, you're a very nice dream creature.
Well, thank you.
I've walked into some much more dangerous ones in my time.
I'm sure.
Closets and whatnot.
Yeah. That sounds... Well, I'd be scared. But...
No reason to be scared when you're as strong as I am.
I can see that. You're really incredible out there. You have quite the imagination on you. I think maybe you remind me of me when I was younger too. I was curious. I don't really know how to broach the subject easily, but I was curious about your family.
About my family?
Yes, I was wondering if you
That's a
could tell me
strange
about
question
your
for a
family.
dream lady to ask me. But I do know my mama, Taya. And then I know that my other mama has lots going on.
Yeah.
She's a hero. That's what I know. I haven't met her before, but I've been told lots of things about her.
That's wonderful. Can I tell you a secret?
Sure. But I can't be promising that I'll keep it.
That's fair. You can't promise anything until you've heard the secret, because some secrets
That's
are
true.
worth telling. Well, your other mama, the hero, is my best friend. She sent me here to check on you and to tell you that she still thinks about you all the time. And she's looking forward to seeing you someday as soon as she can. But she's out there fighting her own astral dreadnoughts, and they have to be defeated before it's safe for her to come to you.
Well, I know of that. That's why I'm out making sure the rest of the universe is safe.
She would be so proud of you. Is there anything you would like to tell her?
Just that Subar's gonna be just like Mama. And by the time that I'm done seeing her when she's done with her job, well, I'll probably be completely grown up.
You're going to be even more powerful than she is, I can already tell.
What?
Can I ask about your other mama, Taya?
Oh, yes, Tia works for Grandmama Saranita.
Is she happy there?
I think so. She watches my other mama every day. I'm not allowed to see, though.
But you know she does. She looks down on her. Or over
Yes, she
her.
does. She looks over me, too. I'm technically all body. So, Mama's just spirit, though.
Yeah. I'm sure she's a lovely spirit, too. I've heard a lot about her. Although mostly about her yellow feathers. Well, it was an absolute pleasure meeting you and fighting that dreadnought. Would you mind if I visited every so often?
Sure. Don't make too much of a habit of it, though. Mama needs your help.
Oh, sure. Well, right now we're all sleeping, so I have nothing but time until we wake up. You know, rest is important. You've got to get a full night's sleep to be strong enough to
Good.
fight your monsters.
Well, if that's the case, then grab your sword. We have lots of work to do. She pulls out her saber.
All right, I pull out my rapier.
And then she's just like, just goes on dreaming about her sailing adventure.
Okay, yeah. I'll play
And then
along.
you wake up.
And I immediately grab Bropsy and tell her. I'm telling her about all the adventures we had first. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And she says Taya's watching over you. And she says she knows all about how you're fighting monsters and stuff. But then we did this thing with the thing. Seti's little kid comes out and it's just like, I made a new friend. But yeah, you get the
Bropsy's
full.
kind of ugly crying.
She does illusions, so you get the visuals and everything.
I just picture Bropsy because burst feathers are kind of feather resistance. Like the pools of tears create huge massive droplets that are just anime falling out of her eyes.
On one hand, I'm very sad that I don't get this RP directly and it has to be through a middleman, but on the other hand, you guys are lucky because the amount of tears.
We only get half as much crying.
You only get a fraction.
All right, so as you guys deal with the aftermath of that, and Bropsy cries herself to sleep again.
Happy cry this time.
This time
We
it's
come
better.
across the fourth day in preparation for the.
So is Arn spending the night to see if I succeed or not?
Oh yeah, aren't you gonna spend the night?
I can't get in your room.
I mean, I can bring you it. Can bring in. Can we bring in Gus?
Nope.
Make it roll a D100 for me, Mitnir, for your knife thing.
So there's a variation here. I'm gonna use the blade to draw the circle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use the topaz ink.
Okay.
And instead of I'm gonna draw the dragon is gonna be an infinity sign between the two circles. And it kind of swaps part way between looking kind of like Mitnir and looking just dragon between the two circles.
Okay.
With around the small circle, 7 spots like claws reaching out, and I'm gonna put 7 platinum coins around it.
Whoa.
Going all out.
Interesting. He's really going with those rituals. He just kind of grabbed a whole bunch of rituals together and it's just kind of
no, that's really what it is. He's like, I've seen druids do shit. I've seen Seti do bard shit. Whatever, let's go.
You gotta make some noise. You gotta hum.
Making his own ritual right here.
Pretty much.
I just have to look up one thing real quick.
Feel the resonance of the universe.
Where is his dorm room gonna end up?
Oh, hey, buddy.
Right, let's see.
You having fun killing all these armies down here in hell?
I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah, I was going to make you rebut it there.
Accidentally teleports his dorm room somewhere. Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Did you fight? Was it blue topaz or yellow topaz?
I think it was yellow topaz.
It was yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow topaz. Which is associated with.
That should be lightning related ish.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Let me actually look up.
I mean, okay, how about we say that was my assumption?
Yeah.
That was Mitnir's train of thought.
Sorry, just let me look up what kind of
Oh, you're
breath
good.
attack a Topa's dragon has real quick. That'll sort of help us out, won't it? Oh. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Interestingly enough, they are necrotic aligned. But that's okay.
But and then he's gonna not rage, but just very focused, like he's getting ready to release a breath attack. So lots of lightning charging himself is kind of what
Yeah.
he's doing. And then
Yeah, he's just like
he's just
so
like
he's just
focusing
like
in
doing
that circle.
he's just like charging electricity and like doing like the lightning breath and stuff. Is that
Yeah,
what you
and
said
just
he was doing?
thinking like part of me belongs with you. Like that's how all my
Okay.
other shit works.
All right,
And
so
that
as
and
you're
he
trying
just
to do this
that's
and
what he's
you're like
doing.
meditating and you're breathing and you're doing this, like you breathe out over it and like the lightning arcs through and you pass out. And as you come to consciousness, you find yourself once again in this long hallway. This, well, not hallway, but like these statues on either side, ice in the distance and the darkness and the sunlight, all of it's together, the sort of pulsing core of lightning in the distance before the shadowy figure stirring just slightly. He goes, "Welcome back, child. You have once again returned. I see that you have laid offerings and traveled here on your own.
I, to be honest, wasn't completely my intention.
You poor child. Apparently, you will not be able to accomplish this task on your own. Do you
But all
not
the other
remember
times it's been
the
accidental.
last time we spoke?
You said to focus on my breathing, and I tried that. I blew up a pillow.
Yeah. You tried one breath, but you have another. I suspect that your creations are a result of it, which is why I told you to work on it. Your breath is the key, yeah.
But not the lightning one.
No, that is the result of your connection to your chromatic health.
I think I get. Well, I understand that difference. Maybe.
In dragons of certain caliber, there is potential for great destruction and creation. Your origins allow much for creation. Try using your breath, child, and see where it takes you.
Not quite the answer I was working for, but it's something.
We are not always given what we wish. We are simply given what we are owed.
I guess that's fair.
What you see is your own. Do with it what you will. But the power is within you. He just sort of exhales, and as he does, it just sends this wave of like cold and hot and pain and pleasure and everything just rolls over you. And then the next thing you know, you open your eyes and it's morning.
Should have at least slept in my bed. Dang it.
So with that, day 4, Grim, I would need you to roll a d10 for me.
Okay. D10.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 2.
You rolled a 2. Da, 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 da. So one of the things that you can learn from Brogy, if you don't have it, is invisible ink.
Yeah, I can do that one. Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know it, right? But it's common, right?
Uncommon.
It's uncommon. Okay.
So he can teach you invisible ink. That is one of the things that he could teach you if you wish to learn.
Those are
And then
24 hours to learn,
those are
I think.
creating them is 24 hours. 40 hours to learn.
Okay, 40 hours to learn. All right.
And then roll me another d10.
Nine.
Mora has the option of the potion of diminution,
Okay.
which is basically drink me to get small.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna learn.
So you can learn. Those are your options for what you can learn this month. If you want to, you could learn those both, but those are the options that are available to you should you wish to learn them.
Yeah. I mean, as long as we can find the stuff for him, yeah. I mean, he'll try to
Yeah,
learn both of those.
You just have to pay. You get the time would be taken, but then
Mhm.
you'd have to pay 750 gold to meet the rest of the requirement.
For both or for each?
Total. That's total.
No. So 75 platinum. Yeah, he'll do that.
Cool. All right. So you will have learned those during that time. And
75.
that is yours for day 4, because day 4 we do not have income yet.
Beans. Oh, and
Oren.
if there's anything they need to know too, I can try and help them learn too. Like I can share with them stuff I know if they don't know it too. If that's going to help Mora in the thing.
Sure. I mean, you could certainly try
Yeah.
to teach them some things. Yeah. Sure. It goes both ways.
They just swap,
Yeah. Gotcha. So Oren, at noon today, you need to represent your device.
Nice.
You need to have selected a presenter, assuming that nobody else had a better situation than you. You could still be chosen for the representative, but if other people had better inventions and you don't have a presenter, you may not be the Artificer's Expose representative for the Hyrule Realm Academy. Hyrule. God damn it.
Did Caldwell get in touch with Fira?
Was it Caldwell's job? Uh-oh. If it's Caldwell's job, I'll roll for it.
I thought he said he was going to, because he said he knew who she was.
Okay, I'll just have Caldwell do it then, if you don't want to have dealt with it. And then you just won't have met her until she comes to this meeting.
He also has the board, so he can show it to her.
Yeah. So this morning he contacts you. He says, "Look, I've made contact with Fira, but I have not convinced her to join us yet. We have this morning, before we're supposed to represent.
Can we meet up with her? And
I have arranged a meeting just before. We have basically right before the meeting. She will meet us in the Hyrule Academy. If you wish to speak with her, it'll be right around noon."
Oh boy.
But,
that or nothing.
Yes. Oh, sorry. That's not how he talks. That was Cleary. It's like, yeah, I mean, she's supposed to meet up with us.
there you go. That's it.
Supposed to meet up with us. Like, I did the best I could, but she was a tough cookie to crack. Anyways, so that's your lunchtime. So you've been informed of that this morning. Mitnir, Steady, Bromsey, what it is today.
So this is like breakfast time. We have a breakfast meeting.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're deciding what to do with their morning. We'll do yours at the midpoint.
Because at this point I have Seti's tools now, so I can give them to her at the
So you
the
can
breakfast
Seti,
meeting.
you would be getting your
Hey, thank you. They look so nice.
Yeah, made them real good.
I've got to practice.
They should
Also,
help.
Yeah, shouldn't we maybe get the box breaker crew together to practice before this whole thing starts? Like, we barely know Celeste at all.
I mean, I know my job.
Oh,
Smash.
Your job is Smash, but like, what if we should know our teammates? You and I have fought together for a long time. I feel like we've got that down, but maybe we should, take some time. If you have time before things start.
As long as you give me a hand with something else.
Oh boy, sure. What is it?
I don't really know. I'm just trying to get my dagger finished. It kind of gives you like puppy dog eyes, like.
What do you need from me? How can I help with that?
You're better at the whole like magic thing.
Well, yeah, certain magics. What kind of magic?
Kind of looks at Arn like, I don't know, what kind of magic is this? Like,
What are you trying to get it to do?
be more?
It needs like some sort of energy.
From me.
Was it an outer planar energy? Positive planar energy of some kind? It needs like a magical imbuement of this energy.
You just might be able to help me, like, focus. And he's kind of like pointing at the blade, just like.
I can inspire you a bit and give you some. I can boost your intelligence or something, whatever you might need to keep working on it.
I mean, either way, yes, we should meet with our teammate to get an idea of, what they do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys want to meet with Celeste and
maybe we can arrange to meet with her after lunch and practice or something, or just go over strategy, and then until lunch I can try to help you with your problem.
Fantastic.
all right. So, Robsy, what are you doing this morning?
I guess she's gonna go back to alchemy classes, but she wants to tell Orin that they need to talk later.
Yep.
Okay. You're just gonna go to alchemy classes, or like maybe learn a couple more potions and stuff before
I
the
guess
competition?
so. I don't want to do anything else without talking to Orin first. So.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me an intelligence plus proficiency.
26.
26. All right. If you want to, you can learn 3 additional common potions, or you can just put that you have alchemy 12 hours of learning.
Okay.
Ooh. So with that, we're popping over to Seti and Mitnir to get their morning over with. So what are you doing?
So he explains what he did with the chalk, and he leads her back to his room and shows like what he did last night.
Can I get in there?
None of it worked.
Can she even get?
Can I get in his room?
She should be. She's part of the same academy.
Yeah, but our academy's extremely prudish, and we're opposite.
Still tries. Still
I
tries.
had to get special requests from the headmaster to let Bropsy in my room.
Yep.
Just makes the attempt. Does it work?
Yeah.
She'll end up in her room.
Yeah.
Comes back out.
I told
Okay.
you. All right. You did a thing with chalk. You made. And
Yeah, so I did another thing, and I pulled out the blade, and I did it again, and I talked to the dragon again,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't what I wanted. But he told me to use my other breath
You have another breath?
on this, and kind of just, palms the blade, like...
I've never seen you use another breath. Just the lightning one.
Me either.
Okay. Right. This is okay. Well. He didn't say anything about how to do that or what he meant.
Not the lightning one?
I have an idea, but I don't know if it will be possible to do this morning. I call Labra.
Yeah, you call Labra. What's up, sis? What's going on?
Hi, this is becoming a habit, but
Yeah, we're totally cross. We're like two peas in a pod. That's totally awesome.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're just completely looking over your shoulder, like...
Can I do for you, sis?
So, your other dragon friend, the one I haven't met yet.
Talking about Zonya?
Yeah. I don't suppose...
Oh, yeah, Sonya's super good, close friend.
I don't suppose we could meet this morning.
I mean, sure, if you want, I can try asking Zonya.
Or maybe around lunchtime. I could buy lunch for everybody at your place
Yeah,
of
let's do the mud bucket. That would be totally good place.
Okay, great. I have Mitnir here. Needs some help being a dragon, and I thought maybe I should just ask an actual dragon about it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe Zonya would know.
A Cantart. Thank you.
Wait, do you think Zonya's also a full-size dragon?
Well, dragonborn to dragonborn.
Holy crap, what if my friend Zonya is like totally full-size dragon too?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, but I also wouldn't go spreading that around.
Yeah, you gotta keep that secrets.
Yeah, I will keep it super close to my chest, where nobody will notice it until it is time for the knowledge to be disseminated, because I have concluded that she is in fact a dragon.
Okay, well, if you like your friends, then keep that very close to your chest. Unless she tells you not to. All right,
We'll see you at lunch.
I'll see you for lunch.
What if all dragonborns are full-size dragons?
Well, I had that thought actually, but I mean, maybe someday. Have you ever tried turning into a dragon before?
Pulls out his notepad, things like how to turn into dragon.
Maybe if you think about it really hard.
I've thought about a lot of stuff really hard. Most of the time, it just makes my head hurt.
That's fair. Okay, so we have that for lunch-ish, and probably a bit of time after that. I need to reach Celeste somehow. I don't suppose any of us got her info, her seal. All right. I'm going to send a message. I've seen her. I can just send a message.
Okay.
Hi Celeste. It's Seti. Want to strategize for Boxbreaker sometime this afternoon? We could meet wherever. What's the place where we're standing right now? Like outside our bedrooms. Like it's just a portal that everybody uses to go to their bedroom, right?
Yeah.
At the bedroom portal.
Just like the bedroom door, right? It's
Yeah.
a door, you step through it and you're in your room, but you can only go to your room. She says, "Oh, thank God that you finally decided to reach out to me. I was really wondering if we were going to wait till the day of and just kind of wing it." Yes, of course. I will meet you there.
I'll send a quick
I
message
love
back.
winging things.
I'll send a quick message back. It wouldn't be beneath us to wing it, but sorry about that. Shit's been crazy. I look forward to getting to know you better.
I as well. I will look forward to our meeting.
We have 2 dates today, Mitnir.
Mitnir blushes a little bit, like it just kind of gives her a side eye, like what?
Not that kind of date. Lunch dates, with friends.
So you head out to do your lunch thing. Oren,
You.
right before you're supposed to do your meeting with Eli and the others, the wolf-looking individual and the fawn-looking individual, the sort of faculty of High Realm Academy, to represent the Zephyr board, you see standing in front of you, wearing the robes of the High Realm Academy, but sort of like loosely hanging off. Like she doesn't like wear it as fitted as a lot of other people do. It's kind of like more just like hanging off one shoulder, just kind of like ugh. And you can see like underneath that, she just has like normal looking clothing, with like a little bit of like leather armor and stuff. And she looks at you, and she goes, "Well, hello then. You're the Alden that I've heard so very much about."
Yeah, that's me.
Fira.
Nice to meet
She looks
you.
at you and she sees that she's got like completely copper toned skin, and her hair is like wild frizzy red. It look like you can see little specks of like sparks coming off of her hair at times.
Fun.
And what is it I can do for you? I believe it's something about your little skateboard.
I don't know what a skateboard is, but yeah, the Zephyr board.
Right.
Did he show it to you?
Yes, he showed it to me. It is a use of technology. But I'd like for you to convince me. Whereas there are lots of things in here I find very intriguing. I can't really put my name on it for the silliness of the device that it is, so sell me on it. Tell me, why should I try to sell this for you? What's in it for me?
Well, you'll be on our team in the competition presenting for this. For one. And was there prizes for these? I don't remember.
Yes, it
Each
was
competition?
a grant to mass produce. It's like getting kickstarted, and also your own workshop within the Halls of Nascency for 1 year.
Okay. So you would be a partner for the winnings, or more like the earnings. If they sell this product, you would make money off it.
Not particularly interested in the paltry sum of money that could be made off of these.
Do you want to see what it can do?
Oh, I'm fully aware just from observing it what it's capable of. It's a Zephyr board. It's quite obviously something that uses Zephyrite to empower through here. Obviously, you have an Occam combustion engine, which is very unique, also quite intriguing, using it to lift and accelerate at incredible rates. Also, it seems that you've imbued some. She just goes over the statistics of your board and explains it in a way like more, like casually, and like it's like she already knows more about it than you do.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty accurate. So basically, there's many functions this can be used for. It can be used for combat scenarios that require air combat, for one. It can be used as a travel device to travel about.
Definitely not good for luggage, but I guess if you've got a bag of holding, why not?
Bag of holding has all the luggage you need.
Well, I'll tell you what. Since you're obviously going to have a hard time finding something I actually want in your tiny little brain, I will offer you this. For half of the whole of Nascency workshop space, rent half of it, give half of it to me to do with what I will. And you guys can make your board, and the other half, organized how you wish. Then I think we could have a deal based on that.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Coldwell's like, She goes, oh, well, very well then. I suppose we have a deal. If we win, half the hall's mine.
Yeah.
So with that, she says, come on then. And she walks straight into Eli's office. 5 minutes of presenting later, applause are heard as you guys walk out of Eli's office. Eli's office is like, oh, that was very much better than what they did the first time. Oh, indeed. So yeah, needless to say, you are chosen. With Fira on your side as your presenter, you are now the representative for the Artificers Expose.
Nice.
I won't make any rolls or spend any more time on that because it's simple enough. All right, so with that, lunchtime, Labra in the mud shack as Mitnir and Seti show up.
What is this?
What's
place,
up,
Daddy?
sis? Welcome to the the mud shack. It's maybe not as clean as some of the places you guys like to hang out up on your top side, but down here, well, sometimes you got to get a little dirty to get the right flavor, if you know what I
We're
mean.
not above getting dirty. Now are we, Mitnir?
You should have seen the places I ate before this.
Well, let's have exceeded, Dragon Boy. My friend Zonia will be here too.
No, thank you so much for putting this together, Labra. I appreciate it.
This almost feels like crazy kismet if you think about it, because like you and I are like the same,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you have a friend that is a blue dragon, and I have a friend that is a blue dragon.
That
We
is
like totally have like the same life.
it's pretty weird.
Only I
isn't
dig
it?
rocks and you do a whole bunch of paper bullshit.
Yep. Pretty much.
Anyways, while she's doing this, somebody comes barging and she goes, "Hi, who's got a drink for me?" And then you see this just shit grinning dragonborn just like come slumping. You've seen other members of the Spectra, and they hover everywhere, but this sapphire, there's only way to describe it as pure sapphire dragonborn, just comes stomping in. It slams her big muscly arm down on the table and goes, "Hi, Labra, I'm here for lunch." He goes, "What's up, Zonia? What's up, my dude? Awesome friend."
Hi, nice
And
to
you guys-
meet you.
She looks at you, and she's got this big shit-eating grin and these big, huge, bulbous, like, blue sapphire muscles. And she looks and she goes, "Hi, you're pretty cute."
What, me
kinda
She
or
like-
looking at
him?
me or
Kinda-
her?
she's looking at Seti, and she kind of like bites her her
Oh.
bottom like crystalline lip. And she goes,
Well, thank you. That's very kind. I like your biceps.
"Thanks. I've been working on these."
You're just like,
I'm so glad you came.
She looks over at Mindy and she's
I'm-
like, "Hey, you're not too bad either. We're your friends, lover."
and then he like a little blush, but they're like, wait, what?
And she goes, "Hey, you and me. One sec.
Immediately gets it on. It's like,
They're flexing at each other, like flexing. And it's like she like pokes your muscle, you poke hers. It's like both of them hard as rock. Hers literally, yours figuratively, but also literally. And you guys flex for like a good couple of minutes before Loba's like, "All right, totally cool down the flex fist, guys. All right, there is something to be known for nimbleness as well."
That's right,
And-
Labra.
And then he says, "All right."
But have you
He
heard
just
the
lays
Blue
down at the
Man
table.
Group?
He says, "I have heard the Blue Man Group. Is that your friend?"
Oh my god, he's the Blue Man!
Holy shit!
We're the Blue Man group! Mindir, should we perform here?
You guys could absolutely perform here if you want to, but I could get you probably a better venue.
Well, and we need everyone
Oh.
else too. Right? It's not just you and me, right?
I
It's
mean, yeah,
everybody.
we have more, but Grimm's out of town, and
All right, well, I'll talk to my people. You talk to your people. We'll set something up.
Okay, great. I would love that. That would be so much fun. It's been a while.
Great, and Labra totally gets cut for totally organizing this super sweet meet cute.
Of course. The usual percentage.
Sure.
Well, I hate to just get right down to business, but first of all, I have your money from Orin for those gems.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. I love the money.
Don't we
all? He takes the money. He's like, oh, right, you need the gemstones too. And he pulls them out.
All right, pocket those. And Sonia, I was wondering. I mean, clearly, you guys are like on the same page already with muscles and stuff. But Mithnir apparently.
I'll get down to a little bit of fit tussle, I'll tell you what.
Well, he's been having a little trouble accessing a breath that he didn't know he had. And
dual breath. Understood. That can be a bit confusing for a young dragonborn to have two breaths.
I never heard about it before.
Well, it's not common of normal dragons, to tell you the truth. It's more about some of those other ones. For instance, she begins breathing. And then she says, as a child, I could only do this one. There's just this pulse, and it's almost like the like an echolocation noise that just sort of reverberates off the walls. And there's this dark sort of mist that comes out of her eyes, and as it does, it hits a glass window on the far wall, and the blast just shatters outwards. She just shoots that up the side of her mouth. She says, "That's just a little bit of the kind of thing that I do. But as I developed, actually, I had to look it up because I looked up the wrong one the first time.
That was 610 gold for the gems, was it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I also learned that I could, and as she begins to breathe, you see that a little bit of lightning starts arcing out of her mouth.
That is super cool. That's really cool.
So I can do the second one. But I don't think
the other one came in more naturally for me because, well, you look at her and she says, I'm a gemstone.
Right.
Do you have any advice or maybe some kind of training that we could take advantage of?
Well, it's not quite the same for me as it is for him now, is it? See, whereas I can do this, and then you see that there's a bunch of weights in the corner that just start lifting on their own. This is how I learned to use my other powers. She's using telekinesis to just
right. He's just wait, but
right. So I just do stuff like that. It's like using a muscle you've never used before, right?
I've used all my muscles.
Apparently not.
You haven't used something deeper inside your muscles. It's like an extra muscle inside the muscle. It's like your soul's muscles. See, all you metallic and chromatic dragons, you're based off emotion, whereas we're based on our minds.
Is there an emotion you need to get in touch with?
Maybe. No. Yes. Yeah, looks around the table what's the right answer here?
Trying to copy someone's test. Well, I mean, I clearly I don't have breath attacks.
But it's sort of strange. When I go smelling him, I don't smell either the good dragons or the bad dragons on him. Not specifically.
Yeah.
Kind of smells neutral. He doesn't have the proclivity for evil or good.
Okay.
So maybe it's a neutral emotion, like meh. Maybe he's got meh real hard.
How do you meh?
I don't know. All I had to do was think real hard. Meh real hard's not my thing. Maybe it's yours.
Maybe you should meditate with Oren and try to, like, just leave everything behind.
Yeah, you could do that. Or you could work out real hard. And you can learn how to swing every sword there ever was. I did that.
Every sword.
Every sword that ever was. Now, I'm not saying every single person's sword. I'm saying every design of sword that ever was.
So like short sword, hand and half sword, two-handed sword, great sword.
I'm talking real specifics, brother. I'm talking like... She starts like listing off like, like Sword Coast, Backstreet Falchion and the,
Basically, every time she says a weapon he's used, he's like, done that one, swung that, done that.
Size, yeah. I've done some time with size, quarterstaff. Swung a quarterstaff. Not really a sword.
I've even gone so far as to throw some candlestick, like standard things, as javelins.
Yep. I fought with stanchions.
I haven't used those.
Yeah.
All right. Well, not to interrupt the second pissing contest, but maybe we should have talked to Paladin.
You talking about Melody with a thumb up a bum? Come on. You can hang out with someone cool if you try hard enough.
Yeah, this is definitely more our speed here, but...
But all I gotta say is it's like using a muscle you didn't know was there. You just kind of keep trying until you can do it.
I mean, that's kind of like learning a new instrument for me. You have to learn new ways of doing
But you're
things.
good at that.
Well,
I mean,
literally, I
Bob has some
haven't
good
seen
news that she could inspire you. That might help.
Yeah, well, yes, let's give that a try for sure.
But I mean, legitimately, I've seen you play. You pick up an instrument and play it.
Well, because I know how to play those, because I taught myself. But when if you learn a drum, you can't just pick up a guitar and play that. You have to learn where to put your fingers first. So you need to learn where to put your fingers.
Kind of like,
I've got a few suggestions.
Okay. Right. Okay. I'm buying lunch, by the way.
Nice.
I'm just gonna throw it.
I'm so totally poor, totally can't afford it. Oh, and yet my bags of gold are so heavy. I don't know what to do with them.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
do you get any discounts on gemstone dust?
What are you talking about gemstone dust? Yeah, we got tons of gemstone dust, me and Lava. We can get you anything.
Just for future reference. Just in case.
I know a good grinder, actually. I could probably get you some offense stuff.
We'll see if I learn to use it properly. And then I know how to contact you.
Yeah, it's basically just a byproduct for the gem cutters.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
That stuff's very useful.
Well, I technically run the entire gemstone mine, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what do you think I met Labra? He's one of my little punks.
So he works for
sense.
you? Yeah, but we're totally bros. Yeah, of course we're bros.
Yeah. It makes
They're in the
sense.
union together.
Wow.
Well-
Okay. Well, thank you for the advice. We'll work on it.
Cool.
And I look forward to performing down here soon when there's time. Maybe
Absolutely. Hey, Ricky, give me one of those real muddy buckets.
And I'll just toss down 10 gold to pay for.
Yeah, it's just like a bucket of like what appears to be some sort of like thick, creamy like stew with like maybe like little bits of rice in it and then like hard shellfish.
I think I don't have
Alright.
any other questions, so we'll
No, that's
finish
all I
lunch.
got.
Yeah.
There's some
As you
advice.
guys-
Like
as you guys finish lunch and begin heading off to your to pursue answers, we'll go ahead and end our session there. Still working our way across our 5. We have like 2 days left, so we can finally begin the Selindor Academy's academic pentathlon. Took me a while to, or interscholastic pentathlon. That's it.
Yeah.
But until then, thank you guys so much for hanging out. We love you, and remember, we did
We did it for the
better
rolls.
rolls.
All right.
Good session,
Good.
everybody.